Hey everyone! Today we're diving into the story of an ordinary kid who found an extraordinary suit. What would you do if you suddenly had the power to fly, lift cars, and fight off an alien invasion? This is a story about finding courage in the face of fear and proving that even a young kid can be a hero. Let's jump right into the recap. The story of Spencer and the cyborg suit. Far out in space, there's a group of tough aliens called the Brood Warriors who are trying to take over another planet, Trelkus. The people who live there, the Trelkans, have to fight back with all their might. But the Brood Warriors are just too powerful. The Trelkans worry they might all be wiped out, so their scientists start building a secret weapon that they hope can help them win the war. When things don't go as planned and they keep losing the fight, the scientists begin to wonder what to do with the prototype they've already made. Because they don't want it to fall into enemy hands, the scientists launch the prototype into space, sending it off to find a safe planet to land. Meanwhile, on Earth, a boy named Spencer is being picked on at school by another boy named Turbo. Even though Spencer doesn't know what he did wrong, Turbo gets mad because Spencer stepped on his part of the playground without asking. Spencer says he didn't know he was supposed to ask, but Turbo tells him that's not a good enough excuse. He repeatedly bounces a ball off Spencer's head and tells him he can only play on the girls' side of the playground. After Turbo throws Spencer's comic book on the ground, Spencer feels sad. He then accidentally hits Turbo's hat with the ball. All the kids are surprised, and Turbo sounds really upset as he tells Spencer he is dead meat. Just as he is about to punch Spencer, a teacher, Janet, comes over and stops him. She asks what is happening, and Turbo jokes that they are just playing. Janet asks Spencer if that is true, but as he's about to answer, he sees Turbo's angry stare. To avoid trouble, Spencer tells Janet he was playing with Turbo. Janet doesn't quite believe it, and when the school bell rings, she tells all the kids to go to their classrooms. As Turbo is about to leave, Janet calls him back and tells him to stop picking on his classmates. She leaves him and asks Spencer if he's okay, and he says that he is fine. After she goes into the building, Spencer sees a girl named Michelle walking with her friends. It turns out he has a crush on her. Michelle's friends seem to notice, and they joke that Spencer likes her. Michelle doesn't think much of it, but she does glance at Spencer before she goes inside. A little later, while Janet is teaching, Spencer sees Turbo still looking at him in a strange way. Feeling worried, he keeps his head down and continues to draw in his notebook. When the school bell rings again and everyone stands up to leave, Michelle walks over to Spencer's desk. Spencer is so surprised, he doesn't know what to say, but Michelle admires his drawing of a comic book hero called the Midnight Warrior. She says she's a big fan of the hero and asks if Spencer has the latest comic. Spencer is still too shocked to see her standing there and ends up saying nothing. Michelle looks confused and thinking he doesn't want to talk, she just says goodbye and walks away. Spencer feels disappointed by this. As Janet sees him, she calls him over to help her with something. While he helps her hold a spider, she tells him that she used to be afraid of them until her dad did something to help her overcome her fears. She then tells Spencer that running away from things he's scared of won't make the situation better. She says the fear won't just go away, it will get worse. Spencer thanks her for the advice, and he heads out of school to wait for his dad to pick him up. After a while, Spencer gets tired of waiting alone, so he starts walking home. On the way, he sees Michelle and her friends sitting together at an ice cream shop. Even though he's still shy, he gathers his courage and decides to walk over to Michelle to start a conversation about the Midnight Warrior. Just as he gets to their table, Spencer freezes up again. Michelle greets him before leaving with her friends. Spencer feels disappointed, but before he can say anything, Turbo appears behind him. The bully then threatens to beat up Spencer for trying to stand up to him at school. Spencer doesn't want any trouble, but Turbo punches him anyway. Spencer gets upset and smears some ice cream on Turbo's face. Turbo can't believe it, and before he can figure out what to do, Spencer runs away. Turbo and his friends quickly follow him, but Spencer eventually gets away by hiding inside a garbage can. After a while, Spencer gets out of the garbage can and continues his walk home. His dad, Roland, eventually picks him up on the way and asks why he didn't just wait at school. Spencer says he waited for hours and decided to leave after his dad didn't show up. Right after, Roland gets a call from his boss, who tells him to come back to work to finish something. Roland says he'll be there soon, and after he drops Spencer off at home, he tells his daughter, Stacy, that she'll have to stay home with her brother. Stacy doesn't look happy about this and says she has a date with her boyfriend, Kevin. Roland tells her to reschedule, but Stacy still complains about it. As Roland leaves the house, Spencer says goodbye to him before looking at their family photo. While he looks at his late mom, Stacy comes in and tells him to stay away from her for the rest of the day because she had to cancel her date to stay home with him. Spencer feels disappointed, but as she leaves his room, he sees something shiny crash into a nearby junkyard. Spencer is confused but interested in seeing the object, so he decides to sneak out of the house. Stacy happens to be on the phone with Kevin, explaining why they have to reschedule their date. While she is distracted, Spencer successfully sneaks out of the house without her noticing. He then goes to the junkyard and finds the rocket-like object that crashed. As he wonders what it is, he gets closer and touches it. Right after, the rocket unlocks and Spencer sees a cyborg suit inside. Spencer is surprised, and the cyborg suit's computer turns on, speaking an alien language. It eventually switches to English. Spencer asks if it's an alien. The cybersuit says it's not, and Spencer asks if it's a robot. The cybersuit then says that it's not made to move on its own. Spencer wonders what this means, and the cybersuit says that it needs a biotic host to work correctly. Spencer is still confused and asks what a biotic host is. The cybersuit says it's a very advanced life form that needs to be carried around. When it asks if Spencer needs to be carried around, he feels confused and wonders what this means. The cybersuit tells Spencer to be more clear with his command. After thinking for a while, he says that he requires transport. Right then, the cyborg suit turns its back and tells Spencer to climb up using a ramp. Even though Spencer looks scared, he climbs up and is absorbed into the suit. As Spencer looks shocked and starts to panic, the cybersuit continues connecting his body to it. After the process is almost done, Spencer can see through the suit's eyes, but he keeps panicking because he doesn't understand what's happening. He ends up bumping into some cars at the junkyard, but after he calms down, he realizes that the suit does whatever he does. Spencer seems to like this, and he slowly learns how to move with the suit. He eventually gets more comfortable and discovers that the cybersuit is really strong. After a while, Spencer asks what it is again, and the computer says that the suit is a Phase 1 close assault cybersuit. Spencer asks if it's for fighting, and the cybersuit says its main purpose is to improve combat skills. Spencer is impressed by this and thinks about what to do with it first. Elsewhere, Turbo goes to his dad's workshop and pretends to drive one of the fancy cars a customer brought in earlier. As he plays loud music inside the workshop, his dad comes over to tell him to get out of the car. Turbo says he just wants to stay for a few more minutes, but his dad says he isn't supposed to be messing around with a customer's car. Turbo feels disappointed, but as his dad walks away, he stays and keeps playing with the car. While he's at it, Spencer quietly enters the workshop and lifts the car that Turbo is in. Turbo looks scared because he doesn't know what's happening, but Spencer suddenly starts spinning the car. He seems to enjoy doing this, and when he eventually puts the car down, Turbo looks relieved. After he gets out of the car, though, Spencer scares him with the cybersuit and pretends to be an alien who wants to eat Turbo's brain. Turbo gets really scared and bumps into a shelf with paint cans on it. As everything falls on Turbo, Spencer finds this funny and laughs at him. Right after, Turbo heads out of the workshop after climbing on the car and getting it stained with paint. Despite this, Spencer meets him outside again. Turbo looks scared because he doesn't know what the alien wants from him. Spencer then lifts him and says that he's dead meat. After this, Spencer drops him inside a very dirty garbage dumpster, and he leaves the area looking happy. He eventually jumps onto the roof of a nearby building, and as he thinks about what to do next, the cybersuit asks why he didn't eliminate his enemy. Spencer says he only wanted to scare Turbo for fun, but the cybersuit doesn't understand this. Spencer then tries to explain what fun means, but the cybersuit still doesn't get it. He tells a funny joke to help the cybersuit understand what laughter and fun mean. It slowly begins to understand what Spencer is talking about. The suit also scares Spencer for fun by showing a fake explosion alert on the screen. Spencer gets really scared when he sees this, but when he realizes the suit was just messing around, he feels relieved. Meanwhile, Kevin comes over to the house to meet Stacy, who is surprised to see him. Kevin shows her his new bike and suggests they go for a ride. Stacy says she can't leave her brother at home, but Kevin says it will only be for a few minutes around the block. Even though Stacy still has doubts, she changes her mind and leaves the house with Kevin. Elsewhere, Spencer goes to the fall fair with the cybersuit, making sure no one can see him. As he looks for Michelle, the cybersuit shows a video of her on the screen. Spencer is amazed and asks how the cybersuit did that. It says that its neural interceptors can read Spencer's mind and show images from it. After this, it helps Spencer find Michelle at the fair. He's pleased to see her. Just as he watches her get into a roller coaster with her friends, the cybersuit sees someone in a T-Rex costume and its defense system turns on. Spencer doesn't understand what's happening, but the cybersuit suddenly starts trying to shoot down the person in the costume. It eventually loses control and shoots at different things, but no one gets hurt. Unfortunately, one of its shots hits the roller coaster. As Michelle and her friends are about to land badly on the ground, Spencer goes to save them. Michelle and her friends look relieved, but they seem scared of the cyborg suit. When the police arrive, Spencer leaves the area right away. After he stops near a river, he asks why the cyborg suit just started shooting at people at the fair. It then says that its defense system found a hostile biotic organism. Spencer realizes he's talking about the T-Rex costume. He gets upset and says it was only a costume. The cybersuit apologizes and calls itself a prototype. It adds that its creators were still working on its main systems before they had to send it away from their planet. Spencer tells the cybersuit to be more careful, and as it agrees to do that, they go to Spencer's house together. Meanwhile, a brood warrior arrives on Earth, and someone sees the alien when it crashes in the neighborhood. The person looks scared and runs away immediately, but the brood warrior just sends one of its scouts to find the cybersuit. Meanwhile, Spencer arrives home with the cybersuit and tries to sneak in through his room window. Unfortunately, he ends up breaking the window as he comes in, and he feels disappointed about it. He eventually realizes that Stacy isn't home, and he shows the cyborg suit around his room. He also shows the suit his family photo and talks about how much he misses his mom. As he looks sad and says that he would love to see her again, the cyborg suit's computer suddenly shows him a video of his mom looking happy while fishing with her family. Spencer gets emotional as he watches the video, and he thanks the cyborg suit for doing something like that for him. After a while, he leaves the room and heads to the kitchen because he's hungry. When he opens the fridge to get something to eat, the cybersuit's head accidentally gets stuck inside. Just then, Spencer struggles to get it off. He ends up bashing a few things and damaging the wall. When the refrigerator eventually comes off, Spencer sees the damaged things in the house and feels worried that his dad will be angry at him. He then leaves the house again with the cybersuit and stops by the river. As he worries that his dad will probably hate him, the cybersuit says it's not possible because fathers aren't like that. Spencer believes that the damage to the house is enough for his dad to hate him, and he says that the cybersuit knows nothing about dads. The cybersuit then talks about its own dad, and Spencer looks confused as he asks if it has one. The cybersuit says it does, and that its creator and father is someone named Tenris. It adds that Tenris was very protective of it, just like Roland is with Spencer. Spencer then asks how it knows, and the cybersuit says that it has been in Spencer's mind and figured out that his dad and sister feel very strongly for him. After a while, Spencer tells the cybersuit to let him out so he can pee, but it refuses to do this. Spencer thinks it's just messing around again, but the cybersuit says that the exit protocol can't begin until he has completed his mission parameters. Spencer asks what this means, and the cybersuit says that his mission is to test the suit's battle functions in a real combat situation. Spencer says he really needs to get out to pee, but the cybersuit insists that he has to stay put. As Spencer then tries to see what he can do, he realizes that he'll have to remove a part of the suit by hand to be able to pee. Since he can't do it alone, he decides to find someone who can help him. Elsewhere, Stacy returns home with Kevin and is shocked to see what the house looks like. As she wonders if she's in the wrong house, her dad arrives home and she looks scared of what he might say. Kevin doesn't seem bothered by this and he leaves the house before Roland comes in. Meanwhile, Janet suddenly hears strange sounds inside her apartment. As she heads down to see if there's someone in the living room, Spencer grabs her and tells her not to get scared when she sees him. When he lets her go, Janet sees the cybersuit and passes out. Spencer thinks that he just killed Janet, and he also passes out from shock. They both wake up at the same time, and Spencer explains to Janet that he's the one inside the cybersuit. Janet looks confused and wonders how it happened, but Spencer tells her what she needs to do to the suit so he can pee. After she does this, Spencer goes to pee and Janet keeps wondering how he got the suit. Meanwhile, the Brood Warrior scout sees the cybersuit inside Janet's house, and he immediately sends a signal to the Brood Warrior. After Spencer is done peeing, Janet asks how he got into the suit, and he says that it was pretty easy. She then suggests calling the police to help him get out of it. As she dials 911, the cybersuit's defense system finds a hostile being coming toward the house. Spencer thinks it's nothing serious, but it turns out that the Brood Warrior is already at the house. When it comes in, Janet looks really scared, but the alien just attacks the cyborg suit. Spencer tries to fight back, but he learns that the cyborg suit's defense system is now offline. The Brood Warrior eventually knocks the cyborg suit out of the house, but Spencer manages to kick the alien back inside. This causes damage to parts of Janet's house while she is still trying to contact the police. As the Brood Warrior then stands up to look for the cyber suit, he destroys Janet's landline and sees that Spencer is gone. Shortly after, Spencer gets to the riverside and asks the cyborg suit about the creature that attacked them. The cyborg suit then tells him that the creature is from an alien species called Brood Warriors, and that they're extremely unfriendly and warlike. It adds that they've already taken down 11 planets and that they're currently fighting a war against Trelkas. Spencer is surprised by this, and when he realizes that the Brood Warrior came to destroy the Kyber suit, he says that he needs to get out of it. The cybersuit says that he hasn't completed the mission parameters yet, but Spencer says that fighting the Brood Warrior should count as a real combat situation. The cybersuit agrees with him, and Spencer is released. Before he walks away, he asks the cybersuit what the Brood Warrior will do to it. The cybersuit's computer then says that the suit will be taken apart and studied to help the Brood Warriors in their war against Trelkas. Spencer feels sorry for it, but he says that he has to focus on Earth. The cybersuit says that no one will be safe if the Brood Warriors aren't stopped, but Spencer says that there's nothing he can do. The cybersuit says he can stop the Brood Warrior from taking it away, but Spencer says that he's not a warrior. He adds that he's only 12 years old and that he wants to live longer than that. After this, he walks away from the scene, and the cybersuit stays behind. Meanwhile, the Brood Warrior sends another scout to find the cybersuit again. Shortly after, Janet arrives at Spencer's house and tells his dad and sister about what happened. Roland doesn't believe this, and he says that she was probably imagining things. However, Janet insists that the only reason why Roland's house is damaged is because the cyborg suit was there earlier. Suddenly, Spencer arrives home and they are all happy to see him. He then tells his dad that they have to call the police to warn them about the Brood Warriors before they take over Earth. When Roland realizes that his son is talking about aliens, he doesn't seem to believe it, and he sends Spencer to his room. He also tells Stacy to leave so that he can talk to Janet privately. Just then, Stacy goes to meet Spencer to tell him that she was worried about him when he was missing. Spencer says he just wants someone to believe him, and Stacy talks about a piece of advice that their late mom gave her one time when she was having some problems. She says that Spencer needs to think of someone he really looks up to and ask himself what that person would do in his situation. After she leaves his room, he looks at his Midnight Warrior comic book and thinks about what to do next. Suddenly, he sneaks out of the house through the window. As Roland figures this out, he decides to leave with Janet and Stacy to find Spencer. Meanwhile, as Spencer walks toward the riverside, Turbo sees him and attacks him. Spencer feels frustrated by this, and he fights back. Turbo can't believe this, but before he can do anything, he and Spencer see the Brood Warrior's scout looking at them. Turbo looks surprised and asks what it is. Spencer says that it's probably going back to give the Brood Warrior an update on where to find the cybersuit. Turbo doesn't understand this, but Spencer tells the bully to help him, because the future of mankind is at risk. Following this, Turbo steals his dad's car and they head toward the riverside with Spencer. When they get there, the cybersuit isn't there, and Spencer realizes that the Brood Warrior got to it first. It then turns out that the Brood Warrior is now at the junkyard where the cybersuit's rocket crashed. Spencer also figures out that the Brood Warrior might be there, and he goes to the junkyard with Turbo. On the way, Turbo drives quite fast, and as he gets past Roland's car, Roland sees his son inside Turbo's car. Shortly after, the boys get to the junkyard, and Spencer tells Turbo to distract the Brood Warrior so that he'll be able to get the cyber suit. Even though Turbo initially looks scared, he eventually decides to do it to help Spencer. As he then distracts the Brood Warrior, the alien doesn't seem bothered, and he gets Turbo tied up on the ground. Before he drops a heavy object on Turbo, Spencer saves him while wearing the cyber suit. He then throws the heavy object at the Brood Warrior. When it hits a pile of cars, they all land on the alien. Spencer and Turbo look happy because they think that they've won the fight, but the Brood Warrior suddenly gets up again. This time around, he beats up the cybersuit and leaves it with serious damage. As he also manages to knock it to the ground, he damages a part of the cybersuit's armor. Spencer tries to get the cybersuit to fight back, but the control system turns off. Turbo feels disappointed to see the Brood Warrior winning the fight, so he tries to distract the alien again. As he does this, the alien starts running after him and the cyborg suit turns back on. It then says that it has suffered serious damage to its armor and that the Brood Warrior will destroy it with another hit. Spencer tries to encourage the cyborg suit to stand up and fight back, but it says that it can't. The computer also tells Spencer to get out of the suit before it shuts down. Spencer still tries to stay inside it, but the cyborg suit lets him out. As it then lies on the ground, it tells Spencer that its internal systems are failing. Spencer says he'll get someone to fix the cybersuit, and he covers it up. He then runs around to try to get the Brood Warrior away from the cybersuit. While running, he bumps into Turbo, who asks what they'll do next. Spencer doesn't seem to know, and he says that things aren't going well for them. Shortly after, Spencer lures the Brood Warrior into an ice cream truck. While they're there, it turns out that the truck is sitting inside a car crusher, which Turbo activates. After this, Spencer escapes from the truck as part of his plan with Turbo, and the Brood Warrior gets crushed into a solid metal cube. The boys then return to check on the cybersuit, but they realize that it has completely shut down. Spencer feels devastated by this. As he tells the cybersuit not to leave him, Tenris and some Trelkin soldiers arrive at the junkyard after coming down from their spaceship. Spencer and Turbo are surprised by this, and they watch as the soldiers fix the cybersuit. As it starts working again, Spencer looks happy, and the cybersuit introduces him to Tenris. After this, the soldiers get ready to leave, and Spencer says goodbye to the cybersuit. He feels sad to see that the cybersuit is leaving, and he says that he'll miss his friend. Before the aliens leave, one of the soldiers gives Spencer a special badge to thank him for protecting the cybersuit from the Brood Warrior. Spencer looks happy about this. Just as the aliens leave, Roland, Janet, and Stacy get to the junkyard. Roland looks shocked to see this, and he realizes that his son wasn't making things up. As Spencer then says that he can explain what happened, Turbo offers to be a witness for him. However, Roland says he's not mad, and that he just wants them to go home. This makes Spencer happy, and they all leave the junkyard together. The next day, after Roland drops Spencer off at school, he sees Michelle sitting alone and he decides to talk to her. Before he walks toward her, Turbo sees him and wishes him good luck. Spencer feels happy about this, and he eventually gathers the courage to talk to Michelle about the Midnight Warrior. Interestingly, Michelle looks happy to see him, and she shows him the latest Midnight Warrior issue that she just got. After finding an alien cyber suit in a junkyard, Spencer takes control of it and has some fun with it. He eventually learns that the cyber suit is a target for a hostile alien species, and since things could soon get dangerous, he decides to get rid of it. However, when he realizes that the cyber suit might be used to take down more planets, including Earth, Spencer chooses to protect it from falling into the hands of the Brood Warrior. In this story, we learn that doing the right thing involves standing up for others, no matter the risk or how young you are. So, as we've seen, Spencer's adventure taught him that true strength isn't about having a powerful suit. It's about having the courage to stand up for what's right. He went from a boy who was afraid of a bully to a hero who saved the entire planet. What do you think was the bravest thing Spencer did? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this recap, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more great movie summaries. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.